I've always believed in public service. I've grown up in public service and chose it as my own career, but I see the people I work with so differently now because I saw them do this extraordinary level of what it means to be a public servant. That Wednesday, when we were on the briefing, our emergency management director, Kevin Shook, was sitting in front of the screen, and I was standing behind him, and they pulled up the map, and we were in that highest category. And I remember him turning around and looking at me and just saying, "We've never been in this." And he's been here over 20 years. And I looked down at him and I said, "Never?" And he said, "Never." And I remember that moment of, this is big. This is, really big. So the worst of the storm happened in the middle of the night. It was probably about 5 o'clock in the morning when most of the county lost power. And we lost communication in between ourselves, where we had fire departments that were out there trying to help people. That was also when we had waters rising, and so we had people that we were having to go pull out of the water. The swift water teams were active. They were paired up with our rescue squad, with our fire departments, with our fire marshal, out there trying to serve and keep people safe. I live on a hill, and I had my kids with me. I had our dogs. My husband's in law enforcement, so he was overnight in the EOC. We got cut off and lost communication, and so the water receded by Saturday morning where we could get out from where I live, and he came to get us because I needed to be in the EOC, and we didn't anticipate losing communication. So normally that would have worked, and that was another scary element was, for me, is I had a job to do, and I was, in communication, and then all of a sudden lost it. Power went out, phone service stopped, couldn't get text messages through. It was a lot. In that first drive getting to the EOC, we drove under trees, over trees, around and over down power lines. 2 different landslides had taken out at least a lane of the roadway. We couldn't get, trees were like twigs. It just looked like a bomb had gone off everywhere. And getting into the EOC and realizing that the emergency response part is still going. It's because we don't have the communication to even know what all is out there. And we didn't lose anybody. We didn't even lose livestock in the end. And I think a lot of that is because of these people that, our fire departments and our law enforcement and our emergency management that show up. They show up for their community.